Everybody. Right now I am sharing tonight. I wanted to talk a little bit about um, the unique methods that I use to deal with anxiety, especially around this nagging, impending election, right? So I can only imagine how many people right now are feeling just overwhelmed and anxious, and maybe you're not sleeping well. And that's making you irritable and agitated and frustrated and angry, and like the rest of your day is just a little topsy turvy. And for me, anxiety is something that, I feel like I should be able to control it, but I can't necessarily control it. Or what I'm trying to do just kind of makes it worse. By the way, if you are watching this on replay, just comment replay below, just so that I know you're here and that I can say hey to you afterwards. And if you are tuning in right now, just write a little hi in the comments so that I can just say hello back, and see who's joining me right now. So I wanted to talk a little bit about anxiety. I want to talk about what it feels like, the journey, to kind of coming to grips with anxiety, and then also just ways of moving through it, not pushing it away, but moving through it, especially when something so strong and acute is about to happen, which is us watching the election unfold, and then afterwards. So these are some tools, especially one method that I'm going to show you that I really think can take you and then help ground you and just let you find a little bit of peace. So let's just start with kind of going back in my mind a little bit. So I never wanted to admit that I had anxiety or depression or anything like that. Who wants to admit it to themselves? But I liken it to this. When I was a kid, everyone in my family had glasses. Everyone had glasses, and I was 6 years old, and I was like, I don't have glasses. I'm going to be the only one in my family who doesn't have glasses. And then, lo and behold, I turned 7, and my teacher tells my mom she can't see the board, and so she's going to need glasses. And so I needed glasses, and I left those glasses at home. I didn't want to accept that I needed glasses. Zoom forward. For me, depression, anxiety, these were things that, my family was comfortable talking about. If anybody was experiencing it, we talked about it, and I was like, that's not me. I'm good. I don't have anxiety. And then anytime I would feel those strong feelings, I would beat myself up. Oh, hey, Erin. Thanks for joining. Thanks so much for your comments. And so I really just didn't want to admit to myself. And then you get to a point where you're done dealing with how you're feeling, and it gets you to a low enough point where you break and you're just like, okay, I feel shitty. I feel something so much that I need to do something about it. And so then I stopped avoiding how I was feeling. I'm going to take a pause for a second, give myself a chance to drink, because it's that moment of realizing like something's not right. We're going to do a little sign to that. Something's not right inside of me. And you suddenly discover, oh, wait, life doesn't have to feel this way. And it may take a while actually to climb out of it. But what I discovered were a few methods for me that helped me sit with myself and breathe, and really do more than breathe. It kind of cleared those blocks. For me, anxiety feels like a block in my throat. And it feels like that block is never going away, that I'm going to be living with this block forever. And I start feeling that way, and I start panicking, and it gets stronger and it gets stronger. So much so that now I have this kind of buzzing feeling of anxiety just underlaying everything. So this is something that I discovered. I'm going to teach you a meditation that I do. This is something that I discovered when I just had hit a really low point. I was having a hard time getting out of bed. In order to just do the things I needed to do, I couldn't sleep in the morning. I would wake up. Apparently that's something that happens with anxiety. I couldn't sleep. I would wake up, and eventually, after maybe an hour or so, I would finally be able to emerge just to get out and to walk. So for me, movement really helps. Just changing whatever space I'm in and doing whatever it needed to take to just get me out the door. I didn't need to wear the perfect shoes. I didn't need to wear the perfect anything. I didn't even need to put a bra on. I just needed to move. So going for a walk really helped. That's pretty, a pretty very simple thing to do. And in those moments when I am completely overwhelmed, so much so that I can't even get myself moving, then I do this one meditation, and it's called the rain meditation. And it starts, and we're going to do it. I'll lead you in it in just a little bit, but I want to explain kind of the path through it first. So it starts, and I'll kind of model it right now with, RAIN. That's why it's called rain meditation. The R in the beginning is for recognizing. The ability to name what you're experiencing. This is anxiety. This is fear. This is frustration. This is overwhelm. This is panic. This is hopelessness. Whatever it is for you, just naming it. So, and it's not just one thing. It can be so many different things. By the way, I've seen versions of this where you give kind of a color to whatever feeling you have. That doesn't speak to everyone. But, for me, I always see textures. This is harsh. This is edgy. This is jagged. I feel uneasy. So the first part is recognizing and naming it. And, naming is something that if you can locate exactly how you're feeling, it can be so powerful. It can be so powerful. So that's recognize. And the next part is something that is totally counterintuitive, but it's accept. To accept. And accepting means not pushing the feeling away. I mean, the truth is, who wants to feel these things? And we spent the majority of our lives trying to ignore it, trying to push it away. And where did it get us? It got us deeper and deeper into this swinging pendulum of, maybe there is joy sometimes, but there is really deep anxiety other times. So we accept. And then we accept again. And then we accept again. And I look and I feel, inside of me, I have that block in my throat, and I say, okay, I'm not going to try and move you. You can be here as long as you want. And I accept. Okay, I'm allowed to feel anxiety. I'm allowed to feel anxious. I'm allowed to feel hopeless. These are normal, understandable feelings. So that's the A. So we've gotten recognize and naming and accepting. And then there's this fun little one called I. And I is investigate. Now, investigate, it could take on a lot of different forms, but my favorite form is investigating in the body. So, like I said, for me, I can normally feel if it's in my throat. Sometimes it's in my chest where I just feel heaviness. And you're investigating, you become, an observer, and you're noticing, and you're like, where is this? And what does it look like? And so you get kind of playful with it. Okay, like, oh, it's in my chest today. Interesting. Normally I feel it in my stomach, or, it feels a little different today, or it feels stronger today, or, you investigate it. You see what, does it have a shape? Is it hard? Is it spongy? Is it edgy? Am I feeling it more in the top of my head? Sometimes it's like feeling very hot. That happens also. So you investigate. So you've got recognize, accept, investigate, and then N. And this is the kicker for me. N is non-identify. It's about saying, I am so much more than this moment. I'm so much more than this feeling. I'm frickin' Dahlia Bernstein. I'm whatever your name is. I am so much more than this. And the analogy is like the sky and the weather. The weather comes in and it goes out. And the sky is not the weather. The sky is much bigger. It is much more expansive. It encapsulates an entire universes and let alone our planet. The sky is so much bigger. And the storm comes in and the storm comes out, and I am not this moment. And it detaches us. And it makes us realize, this is not permanent. This is right now. And it actually reminds me of what was that show? Avenue Q. Yeah. It's only for now, only for now. And I remember when it first came out, and I think George Bush was president at the time, and it said, it's only for now, your hair. It's only for now, George Bush. And it kept on going. Now, I don't know who you're voting for. And whatever it is, whoever it is, life is so much more. And if you have a historical view, looking back on everything from your lifetime, let alone your parents' lifetime, and all those things that have changed, you realize that this is this current storm. Not that it's not significant, not that it's not important and life-changing, but it's not the only aspect of past, present, and future. So this is what I go to. And my very, very close friends have been with me when I have needed this. Actually, this past Yom Kippur, at night, I don't know if I've ever really had a panic attack, but I couldn't breathe, and I was crying. I was so just distraught, and it didn't make logical sense to me. That's when it's that anxiety. It doesn't make logical sense why I'm feeling this way. And yet I'm still feeling it. And finally I'm able to actually remind myself, right, the rain meditation, recognize, accept, investigate, non-identify, recognize. So you just do it once through. So I actually think that I just took you through it, so I'm not sure I need to do it again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a recording of this and put it on my website, and I'll include it here also. So maybe I'll do that right after this, so that you can replay it if you need to. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it right now. So, next time you find yourself, and maybe it's tomorrow, you're going to sit with yourself when you feel that overwhelm, and you're going to find a comfortable place to sit. Maybe it's on the floor, maybe it's bawling in a corner. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. So you're going to sit, and you're going to locate that R. And you're going to start naming. This is overwhelming. This is anxiety. This is anger. This is rage. This is being lost. This is confusion. This is whatever it is. naming it for yourself. Any word that comes to mind. When you name it, after you name it, allow it to sit there. Give it a seat at the table. You don't need to push away. You don't need to cover it with anything. Just accept that it's here and it's part of you at the moment. Accept and accept again. And then you're going to investigate. Where in my body am I feeling this? And you might put a hand wherever it is. Maybe it's on your throat. Maybe it's the tension in your temples. Maybe it's in your chest or your stomach. And you're going to let it be there. And you're going to send love and compassion to whatever place it is. Not trying to push it away. Just allow it and to notice it, witness it, observe it. If you were going to describe it to someone else, what would you say about it? Does it have a color, a texture? Is it large? Is it small? Piercing? Whatever it is. And then non-identify. I am the sky. I am not the weather. I am not the storm. I am so much bigger. I am so much bigger than this moment. And just sitting with that. There is no shame in having anxiety. We all have a lot going on in our lives, and we think we should be able to handle it or have a handle on our emotions, and we should be more composed or whatever it is. That's, again, my favorite line. That's shooting on yourself. You got to stop doing that. It's disgusting. And for, what I believe more than anything is that we need to start accepting ourselves. And only when we can accept and truly look at ourselves and accept this is a part of who I am. I feel things deeply. I feel anxiety. I feel depression sometimes. And when you can finally look it in the face and go into those places, then you can actually see what's next through it, not avoiding it. So if you want to learn more, if you want to check me out, you go to my website, daliabernstein.com. And you can also just, if anybody's interested in coaching, let me know. And just, say hey. I saw Howard Fingeroth. Hi, Howard. I'm glad you're tuning in. Those feelings can be all consuming. And so many of us, Howard just wrote, can't sleep, can't focus. It's really just so pervasive for people right now. And it's something that we can be honest about and vulnerable about, and know that this is affecting a lot of people in similar ways. And I just wanted to give my people, you people, just some tools to be able to, some methods to be able to deal with it. So have a good night, everybody. And good luck with everyone. And, I know that we are so much more than this one moment.